wings, Tim Patterson, and 5, Shane Buckman. The centres, Jamie Oilneck, Craig Simon. The standoff and scrum half for Craig Weston, watch out for him, he really is an excellent passer of the ball. 7, Damien Chapman. The front row look like Clinton O'Brien, Anthony Pauline, Stuart Collins. The second row, Sean Ryan, Daniel Williams and Barry Ellsgood at loose forward. The Pennine under-19s side line-up with Darren Collins at 1, 2, Stephen Wild, 3, Gerald Guilfoyle, 4, James Mosley, 5, Richard Smith, 6, Paul Garrett, 7, Chris Garfield linking up at half-backs, 8, Richard Tiffany, 9, Martin Lee Scrimshaw, 10, Colin Smith, 11, Martin Maders, 12, Matthew Smith and the loose forward Emerson Jackman. The subs for today's game are Andrew McIlwain, who got the Man of the Match award at Cumbria on Monday. 15's Roger Best, 16 Andrew Harding, who scored 2 tries, 17 Glenn Hart. The subs for Pennine are 14 Jack Burks, 15 Joe Berry, 16 Carl Platt and 17 Trevor Sykes. As we await the Australian schoolboys getting underway for the third game of the tour. They've won the previous 2, not as convincingly as many people thought, but still by a comfortable margin. Collins driving the ball in and immediately gets a big hit from number 9 Anthony Pauling. Pauling, who played at loose forward on Monday, moving into that hooker role in the second half after Sheldrick had been took off. Smith driving the ball forward but being drove back. Again, good tackling from the Australian forwards. They've produced it in the other 2 games, as have at times some excellent rugby. And straight away we'll get the kick from the Pennine under-19 side, made up of players from Saddleworth and all the clubs really on the touch of the border here between Lancashire and Yorkshire, from Oldham, Halifax, etc, etc. The referee for today's game is Mr Ian McGregor. His linesman Mr Doug Booth and Sean Mooney. As we get our first penalty of the game, it's going to fall against the Pennine side. A high tackle there. I think it was on Anthony Pauling as well. The Australian schoolboys making a few changes from that side on Monday, but not many. Buckman, as well as Chapman, Pauling, Ryan and Williams all retained from that side as they start to drive forward. Maybe a platform here to go into the Pennine 20 to 25 as a bit of a brawl breaks out on the far side, but Mr McGregor in there straight away. .100% record so far for the Australians, a 32 points to 6 win against Northwest Counties last Friday at Knowsley Road, followed up by that win on Monday against the Cumbrian side, 28 points to 4 at Copeland Athletic Stadium, and Pennine win their first penalty of the game from the scrum. Just one thing to watch out for with the Australians, they don't play everybody in defence out wide. It's really up the middle stuff. As you'll notice, the winger some 30 yards from the touchline and he's some 5 or so yards behind his centre. It really is a quick defence that they play, but Peter Solis does seem to have it sorted out because the defence has been impeccable and has conceded only 10 points so far in 2 games. Pennine moving the ball wide. Good tackling from Weston, moving in quickly. Oh, as the loose pass comes in, and number 2, Stephen Wild, will pick it up. Can he make some room here, Wilder? No, he's met well by Pauling. Pauling playing in his diversity, hooker rollers. If that ball could have been released then out wide, maybe something would have been on for Pennine. So wide pitch here, this Huddersfield, one at Fartown, as we get the kick from Garford. And Patterson makes a good take. Knock on surely. Yes, the linesman here just below us, signalling to his referee that Patterson knocked the ball on. So an early chance here for Pennine to put some pressure onto the Australian schoolboys. Garforth gets the ball to Garrett. Garrett, a big standoff, but he's well met there by his opposite number, Weston. Garrett waiting for his runners out wide. He's not got many of them. The Australian cover meeting Guilfoyle. Third tackle. Pennine looking to spread the ball now. Garrett gets the ball to Guilfoyle, but is well met by Paul, and again he's made some 5 or 6 tackles early on here. Oh, that's nice interchange, and Guilfoyle nearly got through them. And now we get the kick from number 6, Paul Garrett. Patterson picks it up deep in his own half. Can he make some room out? They do like to throw the ball around there, but he's lost the ball, Patterson, looking to pass it. And he's come a cropper. The Australians yet to be behind in a game, though both the Cumbrians and the North West Counties sides had great opportunity to, with penalties early on in each game. Pennine forwards looking to roll the ball round. Number 12, Matthew Smith there on the drive. Ryan and Williams both in there for Australia. As Pennine win an early penalty here in a good position, this surely well in the kicking range of number 6, Chris Garforth. Yes. Some 6 minutes or so gone. Marker's not standing straight from that play of the ball, and it's given Paul Garrett the chance to put over the penalty. And Mr. McGregor just having a word there to a few of the Australian players, just unsure about something, or maybe he wasn't pleased about the position on the pitch of the 2 reserves coming on bringing water. Garrett, oh, he's put that straight between the posts, and there's the opening score of the game. And as you can hear around me, there's quite a few fans here in the stadium, in the stand for Pennine. Again, a decent enough crowd for this game. There was quite a lot of fans at Cumbria at the Copeland Athletic Stadium on Monday. A good 3,000 or 4,000 turned up for that game, as did they at Knowsley Road on Friday night. And again, it's been a good turnout for the Australian schoolboys to see if they can continue the 100% record. But they're 2 points to 0 down thanks to that penalty from Paul Garrett here after just 9 minutes. Martin Lee Scrimshaw drives the ball forward. Pauling in there with a tackle, as is number 10, Stuart Collins for Australia. And now they'll go back for the kick. The Cumbrians used that to good effect, and I'm sure that the Pennine side will have noted it. They kicked very early on in the tackle count, 2 or 3 tackles, and it went straight back down the field. And the Australians, although had a lot of the ball, couldn't really put the tries on the scoreboard. Patterson. Oh, that's excellent play from Tim Patterson. He moved away from his winger then. Just no support around him, and a great tackle from Darren Collins. And that seemed a little harsh there on number 13, Emerson Jackman. Penalised for holding down at the play of the ball. But Mr. McGregor on the scene then straight away, as Tim Patterson went on a great little run outside his wingman Stephen Wilde. It was just unfortunate there was no support around him. The chance here certainly for the Australians to get on the scoreboard. O'Brien, who had a really big game against Cumbria, drives the ball forward, loses it at the play of the ball. We've seen quite a few of those mistakes in the opening games of the tour. Garforth feeds the scrum and gives the ball to Garrett. Garrett drives it out of his own 5-yard line, but that's about as far as he'll go. As Garforth goes again. Again, he's well met by Stuart Collins. And now Pauling on that far side, doing some tackling. Back it goes for the kick. No, this well up there by Pauling. So's number 4, Craig Simon, and luckily Darren Collins manages to get the kick away. Only to Patterson, who's looked very lively here early on. Ryan giving the ball to Pauling. We'll quickly get this ball out. Chapman, and that wasn't the best of passes. Weston gives the ball to number 12, Daniel Williams. Williams slips the ball away to number 8, Stuart Collins. But there's some good tackling there from the Pennine side. Maiders and Smith both in there in defence. There's now maybe the opportunity for the Australians to move the ball wide. Weston, can he get the kick in? He was looking for it, but he decided to keep hold of the ball and then eventually lost it as the ball went to his foot. Jackman gains a few yards. There's Pauling and Ryan both getting some really big hits there. Oh, and another great tackle there from number 4, Craig Simon, who played scrum half against Cumbria. Ryan stays down though at wide as Wilder gets a bit of room. Can he go around his man Wilder? Yes, he can. Stephen Wilder going down the touchline, but an excellent tackle from Craig Simon. It needed that from the centre. He'd got away from his man then, number 7, Damien Chapman, at Stephen Wilder. And he just saw a bit of daylight then down that touchline, but an excellent tackle from number 4, Craig Simon. Chapman feeds the scrum and comes away with the ball, gets it to Weston. Weston just a little pass to the fullback, Craig Makepeace. And now Collins driving the ball forward. Oh, that's a good handoff out wide by Jamie Olinek. Up to the halfway line. Oh, that's a good step inside from number 8, Quilton O'Brien. Gains a few more yards. Now the opportunity in the platform to move the ball wide. Weston with a kick again. That looks a good one. But Collins makes a great take on his line and he gets the ball out with a little bit of danger, but there's still the pressure on the Pennine side. Wilder doesn't gain much yards, but tries to play the ball quickly and isn't allowed. And we've had a substitution for the Australian side. Number 14, Andrew McIlwain's come on. I think it's Sean Ryan that's gone off. He seemed to take a knock after 5 or 10 minutes or so from a tackle he made. And that's an early blow for the Australian, Sean Ryan, who played in both games. Makepeace driving the ball in and wins a penalty for the high tackle by number 10, Colin Smith. There's 3 Smiths in the Pennine side.
Number 14, Andrew McIlwain, on for number 11, Sean Ryan.
As we said, Sean Ryan being replaced by Andrew McIlwain. McIlwain, the man of the match for the Australians in Cumbria on Monday. As Mr McGregor again has a word with the reserve bringing on the water. He's certainly not keen on the Australians doing that at well. as O'Brien drives the ball forward, gains 5 or so yards before Smith and Tiffany both make the tackle. And then Chapman and Smith again. Pauling gets the ball away and looks to get the ball back from number 13, Barry Ellsgood, and the ball was intercepted, and a chance here for Pennine. Far side, needs a great tackle, and it's made by Jamie Olneck. Superb try-saving tackle, the third one of the game so far by the Australians, and Olneck follows it up with a dump. Pennine moving the ball wide, Garrett to Garforth, just got in each other's way. Jackman then. And I think we're going to have a scrum, yes. Mr McGregor signalling that we'll take the first knock on. So it'll be a Pennine head and ball. But that's 3 try-saving tackles the Australians have had to make. 2 by Jamie Olneck, 1 by Tim Patterson, and 1 by Craig Simon as well. Garforth gets it to Garrett. Garrett with no runners at all at any depth. But still, the Pennine come forward. They've got an overlap on this side. If number 3, Jared Guilfoyle, had looked up, if he'd have released the ball, then there was a 3-on-2 there in that corner. Guilfoyle, not the best of passes to Garrett. But still the pressure on the Australians. It needs to go blindside. That's where it goes. Garrett looking for his runners. But another good tackle there out wide, that time by Craig Simon. Surely the kick now. Yes, there it comes, little chip through. Chance here for Pennine. Just an interception at the end by Pauling. And appeals for offside, it surely was. Mr McGregor having none of it though. As Shane Buckman drives the ball away, using his pace from acting half. It seemed as if Pauling knocked the ball forward then. And it was picked up by an Australian in front of Pauling. Mr McGregor playing on as the Australians drive the ball up with Collins. Again, good tackling from the Pennine side. Again, the hooker involved, number 9, Martin Lee Scrimshaw, and there's a little bit of pushing and shoving, but play on, says the referee, and Weston's given a lot of time to get his kick away. But it's straight at down Collins. Collins with 20 yards or so to drive that ball forward. He's gone round his first man, and he's got players outside. But again, the tackling on that far side being made to perfection. Certainly had an entertaining opening 20 minutes or so. Another 35 minutes each way. International rules, 4 substitutes. Nobody can go off and come back on. Good hit by O'Brien. And Simon and Weston. As Guilforth goes on his own. That was a high tackle by Weston that time. Mr McGregor having none of it though. Number 7, Chris Garforth staying down. As Mr McGregor now comes over. Ian McGregor from Huddersfield. Number 10, Stuart Collins also receiving some attention as Garforth gets to his feet, and we'll get the kick again from Garrett. Straight at Patterson. Patterson looking to use his speed, and and he breaks 2 tackles. Great run from Tim Patterson. And he just caught as he made it half break. Makepeace gets the ball to number 7, Chapman. Chapman to number 3, Jamie Olneck, who's not got much support around him. And has to take the tackle. Pauling. And now Clinton O'Brien. Pauling again from acting half to Chapman. Chapman to Weston. Weston finds the centre, Craig Simon, but Simon again well tackled that time by number 13, Emerson Jackman. Makepeace decides to go it alone. Last tackle. Now what will the Australians put on here? 2 points to 0 down, remember, and that's not the best of kicks, but it's well picked up by Ellsgood. Ellsgood is going to go in for the opening try of the game for the Australians after some 20 or so minutes. Barry Ellsgood has gone over there just to the right of the post after the kick from number 7 Damien Chapman didn't seem to have gone in the position he wanted. Elsgood picking up the ball, using his pace and power as the Pennine signs stay back, and he goes over to give the Australians the lead. Barry Elsgood from Pittwater High School, Sydney, in New South Wales, a back row forward, 16 years of age. He and Sidney Dominic, well, Sidney Dominic's just a bit younger than Barry Elsgood, but they're both 16 years of age. He's 5'10" and weighs in at 13 stone. He has represented the Manly Warringah Seagulls club in both tennis and athletics at state level. So he's not just a good rugby player, is Barry Elsgood. And like all the other Australian players, he looks to be playing, or looks to want to play, first grade football in the Winfield Cup in the future. As we get the kick from, I think it was, yes, Damien Chapman, converted over the Tannoy, is putting over the kick to increase the lead to 6 points to 2. So Elsgood cancelling out that early penalty by number 6 Paul Garrett after 9 minutes and giving the Australians the lead back. The Australians haven't been behind on this tour. That's the first time in a match they have here today. As O'Brien drives the ball forward. Just starting to click into gear now, the Australians, as Collins releases that ball to number 12 Daniel Williams. Williams gets up to nearly the halfway line. Elsgood going alone again. Guilfoyle and Mosley in with the tackles. Weston, what kind of pass can he release here? He's got men out wide if he can use them. Oh, it's just too hard and Wilder couldn't pick it up. As Makepeace does, it's pulled back for a forward pass. You really do feel when Craig Weston gets that ball, something's on all the time, and he had men outside then and the overlap. If he just could have found the right ball at the right height. Garforth gets the ball from the scrum, gets it away to Garrett. Garrett with an excellent pass there to number 4 Gerald Guilfoyle, who can't really make much room outside his opposite centre Jamie Olnick. Smith on the touchline. As Pauling and Olnick going for the tackle. Oh, that's a good slip back to Garforth, and if he could have kept hold of that again, something might be on. There might be something on here though for the Australians, as Weston is knocked down there by number 13 Emerson Jackman. Pauling knocked down in centre field. There goes the substitute, number 14 Andrew McKill, when he looked to get the ball away as he stood up in the tackle. The pass going to ground. Collins and McKill win in there with a hit. As again, Pennine go from acting half. Just needs some variation now, as that pass to Garrett really was a bad one. Poor Garrett given little opportunity to pick that one up. To have the scrum again because the ball didn't go in. As Mr. McGregor has words with both scrums. Chapman doesn't win the ball. Guilforth comes away to Garrett. Garrett steps inside Elsgood, but he'll not go past Pauling and number 10 Stuart Collins, who makes a real dump there of him and makes the second tackle again with Pauling. They really do know how to hurt you in them tackles. Been talking to a few of the players who played against them. And every one of them has commented on how hard they hit in the tackle as Williams misses the ankle tap. Maybe a chance here for Pennine to put some pressure on the Australian. Needs the ball moving wide. Garrett just didn't have the depth in his line then to get the ball away. And we have the 5th tackle. Garrett chips the ball forward, takes a deflection off Weston, and number 4, Craig Simon, dives on it as the ball runs loose. Patterson, again showing his power and strength. Tim Patterson from Cardiff High School, Newcastle, New South Wales, 18 years of age, 5'9" tall, as goes through again. Oh, this is a great opportunity for Australia, but a great tackle from Dan Collins. Excellent piece of defensive work from the fullback. Another try-saving tackle, this time for the Pennine team, as there's a mistake out wide by Olyanek. Just go back to Tim Patterson, 18 years of age, 5'9" tall, and weighs in at 11 stone 10, as representing Newcastle Knights at reserve grade. He also enjoys athletics and swimming. Gilforth gets it to Gareth. Gareth gets the ball out, and then there seemed a late hit on him. The Australians come up with the ball though on that far touchline. O'Brien driving the ball in again. He's well met by his opposite number, Richard Tiffany. And now maybe the platform to move the ball wide. No, it goes again to Daniel Williams inside the 22. Pauling trying to get him up quickly to they can get the ball away. Knight will go. Weston with a little chip forward. Patterson might be on the end of it. So too number 4, Craig Simon, but Simon's just held up short of the line. Weston going it alone. He's got support there. Number 8 as he goes over the line, surely for the second try of the game. Yes, Craig Weston using his power there on the line, as number 4, Craig Simon, just held up short, and Weston piling over for the second try of the match.
The Australian try scorer, number 6, Craig Weston.
Craig Weston, who we said before had such an excellent game, or passing game against Northwest Counties. He's from Palm Beach, Cumbria State High School, Queensland, Gold Coast. 17 years of age, 5'9" tall, and weighs in at 11 stone 11 pound. Has played for the Gold Coast Seagulls President Cup team and enjoys surfing and tennis. That try just coming before the halfway hour mark from Weston. 28 or so minutes gone, and the Australians just starting to put a few points on the board. As Damien Chapman off this touchline has got a really hard attempt to keep up his 100% record so far. Oh, that's an excellent attack from Chapman. Oh, just unlucky, just to the right of the post. But it was very close to making it 12-2. As the Pennine under-19 side look to make their first change of the game. Number 16, Carl Platt, is coming on. We're not quite sure he's going to replace yet, but Carl Platt is coming on. The applause from the crowd, and I think we'll find out in a minute anyway when he turns right. As Elsgood drives the ball in his own 22. I've got a feeling it was number 12, Matthew Smith, who came off them. We'll have that confirmed for you in a minute. As both Tiffany and Scrimshaw makes the tackle in centre field. Collins driving the ball in. Maiden's in there with a hit on him.
The Pennine substitution, number 16, Carl Platt, on number 12, Matthews.
Yes, we were right. Carl Platt replacing Matthew Smith after some 30 minutes of this game. And that's an excellent kick there from the Australians. It's just going to run into touch, yes, before Jamie Olnett can pick it up. And the pressure right back on the Pennine side now. Garforth doesn't win the ball from the scrum, but I think there's going to be a penalty here for Australia, yes. Chris Garforth didn't retreat the designated 5 yards. And now maybe a chance for another try for Australia if they can move the ball quickly. Weston, oh, an excellent pass here for Olnett, but he's brilliantly tackled. And in fact, it was Craig Makepeace coming to the line then from fullback. Here is Olnett driving the ball forward, using his power to take on the Pennine defence, but he finally knocked down by 3 or 4 red shirts on the touchline. And we're going to get another scrum. It's going to be head and ball to Australia though, I think. No, Mr. McGregor disagreeing with me and giving it to the Pennine side, and Garforth coming away with the ball from the scrum. Makepeace in there with the tacklers. Garrett goes alone. Oh, good tackle from number 4, Craig Simon there, back doing some defending as the ball goes loose again. The prop Colin Smith knocking the ball on. And maybe a chance here to see the speed of the Australian backs. If the ball can be got away from that scrum. Both these sides evenly matched for weight wise. As you see there, the Pennine side giving no quarter at all. And I think Mr. McGregor, if this continues, he's going to start giving some penalties as finally we get the ball away. Weston trying to bring his winger into it, Buckman. Might have been a better idea than to move it wide. Here goes Chapman. Good tackling from Garrett and Garforth. Collins slips the ball to Weston. Weston turns in the tackle, needs some support around him on his shoulder, but he couldn't find any. But the blind side looks to be hit now. Chapman gets the ball away, as did Olnett, but the final pass to Craig Simon just not going to hand. Jamie Olnett, 18 years of age, 5'11" tall, and at 30.5 stone. It's a real big back. Has represented the Penrith Panthers. Pennine driving the ball out at their own 22. But again, the tackling from the Australians has been impeccable. Any chance of the Pennine side breaking away, there's been 3 or 4 green and gold shirts there to do some covering defence. Garrett. And the substitute, Craig Platt, picking the ball up. His first run with the ball. Garforth looking for some support. Finds it, and number 11, Maiders breaks a half break now, looks up for some support, which again comes in the form of Garforth. And we're up to the halfway line. Maybe something on as Jackman puts in the kick. It's a useful one. Will it? If it will reach touch, yes it will. Great kick there from Emerson Jackman, pinning the Australians back inside their own 22 after a useful half break from Martin Maiders. As we approach the half-time break, only a few seconds left of this game, of the first half rather, and maybe the Pennine side looking for a try before the break to give them some hope for the second half. Garrett driving the ball forward, needs some support around him. He's got it by Garforth. Garforth slips the ball when maybe he should have just kept hold. And the 6 tackles that the Pennine side would have had on the Australian line goes to waste. And there can only be now a matter of seconds left. Patterson, that's another good run from him. gains a good 10 yards before he's brought down. Pauling gives the ball to Collins. Collins using his speed there to gain another 5 or 6 vital gainage yards. Chapman gets the ball to Weston. Weston releases the ball wide to Olyanek. Olyanek, has he got support around him? He's looking up for it as Colin makes the tackle on him. As Australia get another penalty there on the far side, holding down again, given against the Pennine side. I think it was Richard Smith doing the holding down. Either way, the Australian schoolboys now have 6 tackles right at the end of this first half to try and get really the killer third try just before the break. If they could get that try in this last few seconds, this 35 minutes, as the interception was attempted by Garrett. Play on, says the referee, as El goes forward. And now the ball being given some, that was the best of passes from Chapman. But that is a good one to Elsgood. Elsgood looks inside to make peace when maybe he should have looked to his winger, Patterson. Ilwala gives the ball to number 7, Damien Chapman. Chapman going alone, releases the ball, but it's anywhere, and Maidens comes up with it. And we're going to have a scrum. Through the knock-on by Maidens. Yes, Australian head and ball. Martin Maiders going for the interception, knocked it on. It's Chapman, gets the ball to Weston. Weston goes backwards as he looks up to release the ball, gets it to Olyanek. Olyanek looking wide now to Buckman. Can he get it there? Yes, Buckman keeps hold of the ball, just can't go around his opposite winger, Richard Smith. Collins gets the ball away again to Pauling. Pauling dancing round 1 or 2 tackles and then finally brought down right on the Pennine line. A dive over, maybe, no, just held up by the Pennine defence. Real pressure on them just before the break, but they're standing up to it to good effect so far, as the ball wasn't being brought back by the Pennine defender laying flat on the floor. And surely it will be an Australian head and ball now. It's going to go Pennine way. Or is it? The Australian backs moving deep, so I assume that it's going to be Damien Chapman with the ball for the scrum. Yes, Chapman feeds the scrum, gets the ball away, looks to the blind side to make peace with Buckman on the wing. Can he get over in the corner? Has it been given? Or has he gone into touch? We're not quite sure. He's having words with his linesman on the far side, Mr. McGregor. And he's waving that the player was took out behind the penalty line, behind the try line. So we will have a 25 tap, as the linesman wants to have another word with Mr. McGregor. The linesman on that far side, I think, is Mr. Doug Booth from Halifax. Sure that Shane Buckman will feel that he grounded the ball before he went over and out of play behind the try line. Not quite sure of Mr. McGregor's decision here. It looks like a sin binning. Yes. The Australians down to 12 men. And it's number 5, Shane Buckman, obviously protesting over that try not being given. Has been sin-bin. I hope it wasn't a sending off. We didn't see a signal that Shane Buckman was sent off, so we assume that he's just been sin-bin for 10 minutes. We're deep into injury time at the end of this first half. Pennine moving the ball wide. Oh, they've got the overlap there, but the ball again going to ground as Smith attempts to pick it up, but the ball's going into touch. And I think we're going to have a second substitution from the Australian side. There's a cut there. And I think it's number 12, yes, Daniel Williams, as Makepeace goes through a gap that just didn't exist then for a minute. If he can quickly play the ball, there may be still a chance here on for the Australians. Oyunek gets the ball away to Pauling. Pauling, no support again around him, and he has to go it alone. And in number 15, Roger Best has come on. As there's a shout from the crowd of 35 minutes, ref. The Pennine bench don't want to see the Australians get another try here, as number 14, Illawain, goes forward, looks around to slip the ball, but nobody close enough. Again, the Pennine defence drawn into the middle. If the ball can be moved wide, something could be on Weston, using his power but not his strength to get through. And now we get the drop goal attempt. No, it's just wide from Craig Simon. Have another tab on the 22. Garrett going it alone. Collins and O'Brien both in with the tackle, and they've knocked him back some 10 yards there. As we finally do get the half-time whistle from Ian McGregor. An exciting first half that saw the Pennine side take the lead after 9 minutes to a penalty from Paul Garrett. But 2 tries from the Australians, one after 20 minutes by Barry Aylesgood, the second after 27 by Craig Weston. 1 goal from Damien Chapman gives the Australians a 10-2 lead at half-time, but it's going to be a really exciting second half with the pressure on the Australians if the Pennine side can go over for a try early on. Half-time score, Pennine under-19s 2. Australian schoolboys. Welcome back for the second 35 minutes. Neither side making any further changes in the half-time break. Carl Platt, remember, coming on after 20 or so minutes for Matthew Smith. And just 1 or 2 substitutions from the Australians. Andrew McIlwain and Roger Best coming on. Roger Best, though, on for Damien Chapman, I think it was. Oh no, it's Daniel Williams actually, who came off with a Blumber card. Remember, the Australians down for 12 men for another few minutes yet, with Shane Buckman in the sin bin protesting over that try being disallowed on the far corner just before the half-time break. As the Australians get us underway, Makepeace to Collins. Collins breaks the first tackle. Now he needs some support around him. He had ruined them if he looked up and had players around him to get the ball away. O'Brien taking the ball up to the halfway line, but he's well met there by Smith and Maiders. As now the Australians look to move the ball wide. Weston to Olyanek. Olyanek hands off his first man, but number 11, Martin Maiders, round his ankles. O'Brien, Collins into the Pennine half, and we get the 5th tackle. And we're going to get the kick from Weston. That's a good kick from Craig Weston. He's put Darren Collins back inside his own try area. Moving the ball wide. Wilder out there on the touchline. Cuts inside the first tackle. And then McIlwain and Best move in to put him down. And McIlwain there with a second tackle, looking to make 3 in a row here, as number 10 Stuart Collins makes a real good tackle there to knock down his opposite number. Oh, that's a good kick forward by Garrett. Just too near Makepeace. Makepeace, can he make something of this? Goes through the first tackle. And then it's brought down by number 8, Richard Tiffany. Oh, straight through Weston's hands, that ball from Chapman. As Aylesgood picks the ball up in his own half. Certainly a lot of enthusiasm from the Pennine side here at the beginning of the second half. They'll be really fired up. They're only 10 points to 2 down, so while there's only 8 points in it, there's still a lot to play for in this second half.
The car parked behind the stand, which is causing an obstruction for the owner of a Ford Orion. Registration J833.
Collins looks up to get the ball away, then decides to go down. I'll apologise to Stuart Collins, it was actually number 14, Andrew McIlwain. Chapman chips the ball through, might fall for him. Offside was number 4 then for Pennine, so he couldn't pick it up, James Mosley. As Roger Best drives it in, Best will be looking for that test place in the forward line at Headingley a week of Sunday. As Weston and Chapman both get the ball away, Patterson to Olyanek. Olyanek cuts inside, but he's brought down by Guilfoyle. The blind side looks wide open if the Australians want to move it there, but they decide to go for McIlwain. McIlwain driving through and scores a great, powerful try. Excellent try from Andrew McIlwain. He really did use his size then to bulldoze his way through the Pennine line. Excellent try from McIlwain. He got the man of the match against Cumbria on Monday. And he got an excellent try there. Chapman drawing him in, got him half through the gap, and McIlwain did the rest, and there was no stopping him from 5 yards out at that speed. The best possible start the Australians could have had really to this second half. The Pennine under-19 side wouldn't have looked at the beginning of this second 35 minutes for the Australians to get an early try on the board. They would have been looking rather for themselves to have done that. And now Damien Chapman with a rather easy conversion to put his second goal of the game over. Yes, Damien Chapman straight through the post for his second conversion of the game. He missed one from the touchline in the first half after Craig Weston had gone in, but his other 2 conversions have been straight through the post, and now the Australians just starting to open up a little gap between them and the Pennine side. Olyanek, a test of his catching ability here, but he makes a good take there because he was going to be put under a bit of pressure, and he drives the ball forward too. And now he's pushed into touch, and the Australian player number 8, Clinton O'Brien, having a word with the referee about that. He thought that the player had been tackled then. As Garforth gets the ball from the scrum, gives it to Garrett. Hands his first man off, and then he's met by Elsgood and Makepeace. Oh, good hit from Elsgood, knocking his man back. Pennine looking to move the ball wide. Garrett gets through the first tackle, but he can't get past Elsgood, and Illawarra slips the ball though, and maybe a chance here for Richard Smith. Smith going down the touchline, but he's well met by Olyanek. Chance for Pennine to move the ball wide. Garrett gets the ball from Garforth, tries to get it through the gap, and Patterson nearly comes up with the interception. As Mr. McGregor weighs the play on, 6 more tackles, and I think the Australians are going to be penalised. Number 15, Roger Best, not in line with Mr. McGregor. As Paul Garrett, to the displeasure of the fans, decides he's going to kick for goal. A sensible option. There's only some 14 points in this game, and with some 30 or so minutes yet of it to go, to put another 2 points on the board and just close that gap a little more is the right thing to do. Paul Garrett. His club is Saddleworth Rangers, 19 years of age, 6 foot tall and weighs in at 13.5 stone. Has played for the Oldham DDA side and his interests include weightlifting and weight training and athletics. Oh no, he's made a hash of that one though. So the scores stay at 16 points to 2 in favour of the Australian schoolboys. As James Mosley gets his first real chance to run with the ball. And he's gone and found a little gap in the Australian defence. Now needs some support around him. It's provided by number 10, Colin Smith, but the final pass goes astray and the Australians will come up with the ball. And the pressure that Pennine were putting on the Australians for the moment then is relieved again. Chapman to Weston. Weston a short ball to Pauling. Moving into the line out wide there. The hooker come loose forward. McIlwain, who's went in for that blockbustering try at the beginning of the second half. As Shane Buckman returns to the field, the Australians back to full strength now with 13 men. After his 10-minute sin bin, number 10, Stuart Collins, he just couldn't get the ball to the right person. Still it might be on for McIlwain, who gets the ball into the 22. Like I was saying before, Buckman coming on after his 10-minute spell in the sin bin. As the fifth tackle comes up, Chapman moving the ball wide. Olyanek decides to go it alone. Goes through the first tackle, he's got Weston outside, goes instead for Patterson, who looks up and lays a delightful backhanded pass. It was just a shame nobody was around him to pick it up. And we'll have the turnover. Pennine with the chance to relieve the pressure. Richard Tiffany driving the ball out. Clinton O'Brien making the tackle. He's had a real good game there forward as Elsgood and McKinley come in with a hit. Pauling also there over the top, but they were holding down the Pennine player just a little too long for Mr. McGregor's liking. And Paul Garrett takes the Pennine under-19 side up near the halfway line. Scrimshaw gives the ball to Platt, who meets by a high tackle by Olyanek, who straight away is pointed off the field. I'm not sure if it's going to be another sin bin offence. No, it's enough. It's a red card for Jamie Olyanek. It seemed a little harsh decision that from Mr. McGregor. It was obviously a high tackle, but a sin binning would have been sufficient in my view. The sending off given against Jamie Olyanek will now mean that the Australians will be down to 12 men for the rest of the game. So, discipline-wise, it's not been the best of games for the schoolboys. One sin bin, one sent off. And they've won another penalty there. I think maybe somebody here in Huddersfield has had a little word to Mr. Ian McGregor. We're not calling him biased, are we? No, surely not. Mr. Scrimshaw moving the ball forward. Now number 10, Colin Smith on the line. Tries to go over, but he just can't make it. As Garforth really didn't know what to do then. He had that many options on, and in the end just threw the ball away. Garforth gives the ball inside to Maiders. Maiders turns his tackle. Can he release the ball? Yes, he can. Chance here, surely. Oh, and finally Jackman was the man to let the ball go down. A real opportunity here now for the Pennine side to get back in this game. As Elsgood drives the ball forward, but the red shirts piling all over him. They'll not have any better opportunity, any English side on the tour, in my view, than here tonight, as Chapman half breaks away, decides to tap it to himself, and I think he's going to get penalised, or rather number 10 Colin Smith is going to get penalised for not letting him get away. Damien Chapman. Roger Best deciding to move his run a bit wider. As Collins makes the half break, looks up to release the ball. As Chapman went through the gap, just couldn't get it away. Weston decides to go it alone. No, looks up for the pass, but he's slapped on the back there by Garrett, and I'm sure he won't be thankful of that. Pauling releases the ball to McIlwain, who had to stop his run to pick that one up. 15 minutes coming up to this second half gone. Australia leading 16 points to 2. Blindside move. Chapman goes it alone, just couldn't find the right runner. Again, the red shirts defending well for Pennine. Makepeace goes for the chip on his own, and Collins picks it up and now drives the ball away. Elsgood with the tackle, and then 3 or 4 blue and gold shirts come over the top to knock the man down. Guilfoyle drives the ball into centre field. Now Smith takes it on another 4 or 5 yards. There's the linesman on the far side coming on the field with his flag. He's seen something on that far side that Mr. McGregor obviously hasn't. Mr. McGregor waving to signal that he's not going to stop play as Pennine are going forward. Oh, good pass inside, chance here surely. No, again good tackling. Number 2, Tim Patterson, and the fullback Craig Makepeace making an important tackle on the halfway line against Stephen Wild. Oh, that was a good tackle by Patterson. As no, the linesman won't be able to get his say. Mr. McGregor going over to him. An infringement must have been seen by, I think it's Doug Booth on the far side. Now let's see what Mr. McGregor is going to decide. There's 1 or 2 players receiving attention as Mr. McGregor calls over. I think it's going to be number 10, Stuart Collins. Australians can do without any more simbing or sending offs as Pennine get the penalty. It's Stuart Collins, obviously the offender. We're not quite sure what for. The linesman on the far side certainly spotted something as James Mosley gets back on his feet and rejoins play. Garforth gives it to Garrett. Garrett to Wilder. Wilder to Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle to his centre number 4, Mosley, who's just come back on after receiving that attention for his injury to his leg. And maybe he hasn't fully recovered then, James Mosley. Chapman gets the ball away from the scrum to Weston. Weston brings in Makepeace. Makepeace straight through the gap. Chance here for Australia. Craig Makepeace sprinting past Darren Collins. Collins, though, pulls him back and makes a great tackle. A try-saving tackle again. That's the 3rd one of the game so far by Darren Collins as Weston again goes through. Chance here for Australia. The Pennine side haven't moved back fully. Best driving the ball in. He's brought down some 5 or 6 yards short of the line. McIlwain goes to acting half, gets the ball to Chapman. Chapman to Pauling, but Pauling's held up. Again, some 3 or 4 yards short of the line. It needs moving that blind side to the touch line. There's the long pass. But the winger Tim Patterson brought down. Just short, maybe a little pile over or knock on surely. Or is the try going to be given? The linesman moving in, so is the referee. The referee's given the try. We're not quite sure whether that was a knock on there or not. Either way, Mr McGregor giving the try for the Australians, and now they're moving 20 points to 2 clear. And Roger Best comes up with his first try of the game after some 20 minutes of this match. I've got to say that there seemed a knock on then as that ball went down. Obviously the referee was either unsighted or felt that it was a kick. But it's given Roger Best his first try of the match after coming on a substitute midway through this first half. A real test of the character of the Australian side, with 12 men on the field for most of the game. No. They've had to put up with some intense pressure from Pennine, and they've met it well with some excellent defence. And when they have attacked, they've done it with force, and they've come up with the points. And Weston and Elsgood and McIlwain and Best have all come up with tries as Chapman attempts the conversion. It's an excellent one from Damien Chapman. Superb attempt and goal from Damien Chapman, his 3rd of the game. Just 1 miss from 4. And 2 of them have been from that position on the touchline. So it's like 22 points to 2, and 20 points in it means that the Australians now have a bit of breathing space. As number 15, Joe Berry, comes onto the field, and the short kick works, but is knocked on by Maiders. And he's a little slow getting to his feet there, Martin Maiders. Maybe just pull something stretching for that ball. Chapman decides to go down the blind side, and he's spotted the gap and is away. Can Collins get him? Chapman going it alone, no support around him, and he's brought down by Darren Collins and knocked the ball on. That was unfortunate. He'd done all the hard work then, Damien Chapman. And Darren Collins comes up with another excellent tackle. That's the 3rd or 4th one he's done in this game already. And every one of them's been a try-saving tackle. He's saved Pennine some 12 points, I reckon, at least. I'm not quite sure what happened to Shane Buckman then. He was running down the touchline with Chapman, but suddenly fell over. I hope there wasn't any foul play. I didn't see any myself, as the ball's not forward by Pennine. They just can't seem to keep hold of the ball for a good 6 tackles. The kicking game that they were putting in the first half worked really well. They just haven't put it in as good in this second period because they've not had the ball long enough. They've lost the ball on 2nd and 3rd tackles when they should have really kept hold of it more, as they are caught again offside and leaning on. And I'm sure that Damien Chapman, who's having an excellent kicking game, I was going to say Damien Chapman would have liked to go for the goal there, but Dushan's going for the try. Best driving the ball forward. Good tackling again on the line by Tiffany and Smith. Pauling misses out Collins and decides to go it alone. Now maybe a chance to move the ball wide. Chapman to Weston. Weston. Oh, that's an excellent pass to Elsgood. Elsgood cuts inside and just held up short of the line. As we get a high tackle then from number 13, Jackman. And Mr McGregor gives Australia a penalty right in from the post. A high tackle by Emerson Jackman, and rightly penalised. And again, Australia deciding to run the ball instead of going for the 2 points. Weston Oh, he just got one or two players in the way, and Wilder dives on the ball and picks it up for Pennine. They've got to start being a bit more adventurous now, and if they couldn't move the ball wide, they'd spot that the Australians have got 2 or 3 gaps there that could be exploited if 2 or 3 passes could be played out wide. With only 12 men on the field, there is always going to be a gap somewhere. It's up for the Pennine side to start giving the ball somewhere to find it. As we get the kick from the hooker, Martin Lee Scrimsham. As number 17, Glenn looks to be coming on. Mr. McGregor, though, having a word first with the 2 scrums before Glenn will be brought on. So Glenn coming onto the field and immediately into play. Weston gets the ball away to Chapman. Chapman using Patterson on the wing. Can he go around Wilder? No. Wilder makes a good tackle there on the touchline. But still the pressure on Pennine as McIlwain comes in with another blockbuster in run. Gains a good 10 yards before he's brought down. Well inside the Pennine 22. Chapman goes it alone. Oh, he's met high again there by Smith. Play on, says Mr. McGregor. As now the ball's given a bit of air. Oh, great pass to Weston by Glenn, and the Australians have gone in for another try, the 5th of the game, and that I think is the best. An excellent pass from Glenn, spotted Weston going in for his 2nd try of the match. After some 25 minutes or so of this second half, 10 minutes left of the game, and the scoreline now starting to really open up. Craig Weston, who scored after 27 minutes of the first half. Joining Elsgood, McIlwain and Best on the score sheet. Chapman's got 3 conversions as well, remember. And that, as I said, the 5th try of the match. So 26 points now to 2 in favour of the Australians. Again, it's not been the walkover that many expected, but again, the Australians look like they're going to come up with their 3rd win of the tour. Remember, after today, they travel to Yorkshire and Featherstone Post Office Road on Sunday. Kick off 11 o'clock there. Then Wednesday, Humberside, 7:30 kick off at the Boulevard Hall. And then we have the first test at Headingley, Leeds. Kick off 11:30 on Sunday, the 15th of December. And now Damien Chapman with another difficult conversion. But again, he's hit it well. Oh, that's an excellent attack from Chapman. Just going to drift short. No. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely superb. Damien Chapman with his 4th conversion of the game from 5. And his kicking today has been spot on. After that first test, the President's 13 will play at the Watershed in Oldham on Tuesday the 17th of December, kick-off 7:30, and then we'll have the last test, the 2nd test, at Wigan Central Park, kick-off 7:30, Friday the 20th of December. So a packed tour itinerary. They've already played 2 games. Remember the first against North West Counties, which they won 32 points to 6. The second against Cumbria on Monday, which they also won 28 points to 4. Makepeace not pleased about that tackle, and he's just rubbing his head there. Felt he got hit a bit high. As Pennine just start to rough things up a bit. Collins driving the ball, and it really has been a test of the Australians' temperament here today. And although they've had a player sent off and a player sin bin, they've come out of it reasonably well, and the players that have stayed on the 12 as 4 passes given against Craig Weston there have put up an excellent performance to pick up the win, which is surely well in their reach now. Oh, really a disaster in this last 10 minutes or so. Platt. Knocked down there by number 8, Clinton O'Brien, who had a few words to say as well. Garrett goes for the chip, but Chapman gets there first and then seemed to be met before he had the ball in his hands. Play on, says the referee, as Chapman gets the chance to make up for his mistake and pick the ball up for Australia. Best to O'Brien. O'Brien driving the ball forward. Good tackle from Jack Burks. There's a gap out wide if the Australians can use it. Best gets the ball to Glenn. Excellent ball to Olienek. Oh, superb pass from Glenn. And now surely another try on the cards here for the Australians. Just short of the line. No, he's gone over. I think it was the prop. Stuart Collins there. No, it wasn't Stuart Collins. Maybe Tim Patterson. I'm not quite sure from this angle, but it was an excellent, powerful try on the 6th of the game. And it was really on the cards after that excellent pass from Glenn.
Australia's try scored by number 15, Roger Best.
And we get confirmation from the tannoy that it was Roger Best going in for his second try of the game. Again, another powerful run. And he really is pressing a claim for a test place. And he's given Damien Chapman the chance of putting over his 5th conversion. It's also given Chapman the chance to give Australia their biggest score yet of the tour. He's certainly taking his time. But when you can kick as good as that and knock the ball through the post, you can take as long as you want. That's made the score now 34 points to 2 and given the Australians the highest score so far the tour. That beating the previous high against North West Counties of 32 points. As again the short kick's put in. Shane Buckman well aware of it. As he drives the ball in now, Maidens with a tackle, as was Jackman. Patterson driving the ball from acting half. Oh, good play from Tim Patterson. And then just held back from the 3rd tackler. As he looked to break free. McIlwain into the pennine half. O'Brien, oh, delicate pass inside to Chapman. Chapman looking to go round. Looked up for his support and couldn't find any. Weston gets the ball away. Oh, great little chip there forward. And the pressure on Pennine again, but Collins, who's had an excellent game at fullback, again matches it. Garforth gets the ball to Platt. Again's well covered up by the Australian defence. Oh, that's the right sort of pass. It just didn't find the right man. And again the Australian tackling. Proving strong. And now we'll get the kick from Garforth. Straight at Makepeace. He's got room here to run at the Pennine defence, and there's also gaps out there if he can use them. Patterson going from acting half. Surely a platform now to build and look for the 7th try of the game. Collins inside the Pennine 22. And the Pennine defence really getting stretched now. Chapman looks inside to number 17, Glenner. Tries to step through 2 tackles, but he's knocked down by Trevor Syke. He's just come on a substitute. Chapman gets the ball to Weston. Weston to number 4, Craig Simon, who's just held up short of the line. Quickly played, surely in the corner. Chance, yes, try for Tim Patterson. His first of the game. Australia's 7th of the match. We come into the last 3 minutes of the game, and that really rugby at its best. Simple rugby. Just drive the ball in, draw the players in, draw the defence in, and then move the ball wide, and Patterson in at the corner.
Scorer for Australia, number 2, Tim Patterson.
And Chapman, again with a difficult conversion on the touchline. As we get the man of the match coming through. And Chapman really rightly gets the man of the match award for the Australians.
And the Pennine League man of the match selected by Ken Senior, number 1.
Yes, and the right choice for the man of the match for Pennine as well. Darren Collins has had an excellent game at fullback. He's met everything asked of him. His tackling has been first class. He's not missed a tackle. He's just below us now. He's come off with a head injury. His running has been superb throughout too. And 2 well-chosen men of the match. Damien Chapman, one of them, has another chance to add to his conversion list. He's just going to drop short that one though. It's only his second miss from 7. So the score stays at 38 points to 2. But it's been the most comfortable of second halves for the Australians, and their biggest score so far on the tour. Patterson, oh, he didn't really was given much chance with that ball. As Andrew Harding warms up just below us. Pennine going forward through Trevor Syke. And now Jackman gets the ball away to Garforth. Garforth looking to try and get Pennine a try on the board before the end of the game, but there's a knock on by, I think it was Wilder. And now the Australians will get the chance to relieve the pressure and put some back on the Pennine team. And there's a player just stayed down. I think it's Roger Best. Andrew Harding yet to be used, the number 16, and I think he'll be coming on anyway. As Roger Best gets to his feet, or is it Roger Best? It might even be Craig Weston. Certainly not all there, whoever it is, as Andrew Harding comes on for him. And really the player should have been allowed to get off the field before the game was restarted. And there is the final whistle, the end of a convincing win for the Australian schoolboys. 38 points to 2 really does tell the story. 12 men for much of the game. They convincingly piled up the points in this second half, as really expected the Pennines to come back in it. Tries from Patterson, 2 from Weston, 4 excellent kicks from Chapman, 5 excellent kicks from Chapman. He also picked up the man of the match award. Elsgood picked up a try, so did McIlwin, and 2 for Roger Best. The only points coming from the Pennine side through a penalty after 9 minutes from Paul Garrett that did give them a lead briefly, but it was all too brief. One sewing out for the Australians, a sending off of Jamie Oyunek and the sin binning of Shane Buckman. But all in all, another excellent performance by the Australians, and they move on to the next match, which will be against, as I quickly look, the Yorkshire side at Featherstone on Sunday in full confidence. Final score, Pennine under-19s 2, Australia schoolboys 38. Another convincing performance, Peter. The best of the two so far?
Well, the second half was. I was a bit disappointed with the first half. aim for that game was possession and controlling it, and we didn't do that in the first part of the first half. But in the second half, I thought the boys played well, especially being a man down, and I thought they played some really good football.
Some excellent tries, just going through McIlwain's and Best near the end. Some really powerful stuff.
Yeah, the backs made some ground, and then the forwards finished it off nicely. I thought the little halfback had a good game for us and controlled the game pretty well. He hasn't played halfback for a long time, but he's one of the outstanding young players in Australia.
Damien Chapman, his kicking as well was superb. Some of the kick line and touching was excellent.
Yeah, he's a talented kid. I don't think there's much Damien can't do. He was the best and fairest in the Commonwealth Cup this year, the man of the series, and he's a mature player. He's played a lot of top level football, and that showed out tonight, I thought.
One side note, the sending off near the end and the sin bin. Do you have any words on that?
Well, I don't want to say too much. I didn't think the sending off was warranted, perhaps a penalty. I thought that was a bit tough on the boy. The referee might have been a bit...
might have been a better idea.
Yeah, the referee might have been a bit unsighted. As far as the other incidents concerned, we'll leave that in-house. I wasn't happy with it at all.
Finally, first week in England, are you settling in?
Well, it's just getting better and better. We're at the George now, 5-star motel. Probably a little bit too good for our boys, but if we were staying any more than 2 days, I think we would make the carpet too dirty, but it's great.
Just one word about the Cumbrian game. That was another good win. Maybe a bit harder in the first half especially.
Well, the Cumbrian game was played on a very small pitch. The lights were poor, and it was very greasy ground, and I don't think our players played well at all. And I think that contributed to it, the conditions. But we struggle along, and we seem to, but I think, just a better class of player on the whole for a national time than a regional side sort of gives you the edge.
What about the injury as well to Matthew McKee? How's he going on?
Well, Matthew's made progress. He's, there's no paralysis at all. It's just a matter of him lying on his back until he relocates one of his discs, which have been dislocated.
So it's nice. Brian Chambers, the Great Britain coach, you've, I'm sure, watched the last 3 games with interest. Yeah. Have you any ideas on how you're going to play your game?
Well, I've been watched all 3 games. Been quite impressed with a few things what we can work on. There's quite a few of the squad what we picked to play the Australians that have played against them now. I'll be bringing them all in at training at weekend, and we'll get our thoughts together and work out a game plan. Points, because we've improved our game a lot.
Just a quick mention of some of the players they've got out there. Who's the players that have stood out for you in the first opening games of the tour?
Certainly Glenn Eyre, the number 7. He looks a real class player. He probably looks the fitter of the side. He's a nice player. One touch on Eyre tonight, and he put a try scoring pass out. Dominic, the loose forward, certainly had a really good game at St Helens. Other than that, they look a workman-like side who have done what the coach told them. Quite impressed, but not overawed by it, and I'm sure the lads aren't overawed by it. And we'll work hard on it, and we could pull a shock out of there.
Finally, can you win the 2 test matches? Can you pick up the trophy?
Well, obviously this side's never been beat. They've played all these matches. The side that has beaten was Auckland, and we've had experience of Auckland. We used to come back from tour, so I know what that's going to be like, and I know how Auckland play, and so...
A warm welcome to Headingley, the home of Leeds Rugby League Club, for the first test match of the Australian Schoolboys Tour of Great Britain 1991. With the national anthems out of the way, we get down to the proceedings here at Headingley. The first test match between Great Britain and the Australian Schoolboys. 11:30 kick-off here on this Sunday morning. Let's quickly run through the two sides. Barlow line up with Philip Holmes of East Leeds at fullback. The wingers are Phyllis Sam, Wigan St Patrick's, Danny Ellison, Parkside, Goulburn. Centres Darren Wilson, Kerry Tyler, Whalley Central, Wigan St Jude's respectively. The halfbacks line up Anthony Baines, Westholt, Neil Kelly, Woolston. The front row Craig Makin, Wigan St Jude's, Kerry Brookfield, Blackbrook, Graham Morton, Kells. The second rows Andrew Rasburn, Wigan St Patrick's, Simon Knox, Heddisingham, and the loose forwards David Stevenson of Queen's Park, who really was impressive in the game last week for Pennine. The Australian Schoolboys line up with Craig Makepeace at fullback. The wingers are Tim Patterson and Tim Horrance. Centres Michael Butner and Jamie Olinick. Michael Butner is captain for today's game. The halfbacks are Craig Weston and Damien Chapman, which means there's no place for Glenn Eyre or Craig Simon in those two positions. The front row, Roger Best, Chris Sheldrick, Stuart Collins. Second row, Scott England, Andrew McIlwain, and loose forward, the youngest player of the tour, Sidney Dominic. The substitutes for today's game are Anthony Pauling, Clinton O'Brien, Craig Simon and Glenn Eyre for Australian Schoolboys. For Barlow, Craig Murdoch, Philip Heffworth, Robert Appleyard and Martin Maders. The referee for today's game is Mr Dave Aitken, who's just about to get us underway. The touch judges are Kim Taylor and Graham Shaw as we get ready for our first test match here. We've had 4 games now for the Australians. They missed the 5th one because of frost, which was going to be held at Hull. As the Australians immediately lose possession. They're really fired up, the Great Britain boys. They really do want to get a win here. And immediately Australia penalised for not getting back the full 5 yards. And it's an immediate opportunity for Phyllis Sam to have his first kick at goal and to get the Barlow Young Lions on the scoreboard. This game will be played at 35 minutes each half. Substitutes, 4 of them are allowed on the bench. All 4 can take part in the game, but once substituted, the player coming off the field can take no further part in the match. A crowd of around, I'd say, just under 2,000. Not a massive crowd. They were expecting in the region of 3,000, but it is building up. And there's a nice, friendly atmosphere here for both teams. And can Phyllis Sam put the Young Lions in front after just 2 minutes of this game? Yes, he can. That's a great kick from Hassan, straight in front of the post, making no mistake at all with it, and gives Great Britain a 2-0 lead. That'll certainly be the start they wanted. The Australian Schoolboys were looking like they were just going to start getting into a bit of form against Yorkshire at Post Office Road, Featherstone last Sunday, when they really put up an excellent display, especially in the second half. Remember, they've only lost once, the Australian Schoolboys, and that was in Auckland to New Zealand. And it's going to be a really big task for Great Britain to do it again, as Hassan driving the ball in. He's well met though by Collins and Scott England, as Roger Best makes a real hit there on number 8, Craig Makin of Wigan St Jude's. Andrew Rasburn, Simon Knox rather, moving forward. Scott England making the tackle. Now here comes Kelly. Oh, he tried to slip the ball, but it didn't really come off. But number 11 this time was Andrew Rasburn from Wigan St Pat's, who just dived on the ball. And now we will get the kick from Philip Holmes. Will it make touch? Just below us, yes. Skims into touch before the Australian cover can come across. Some really big lads in both sides. That front row of Roger Best, Chris Sheldrick, Stuart Collins, and then Andrew McIlwain, who's a massive second rower, are really going to take some beating, as Mr Aitken of Humberside seen something, and Great Britain get their second penalty of the game. And Kerry Tyrrell come across to kick it into touch. So that's 2 early penalties the Australians have given away, and they'll not be pleased about that. It's the start that Great Britain needed if they're going to get anything from this match. They need to get early points on the board and put the pressure on the Australians, so they have got to come at them. Morton driving the ball forward inside the 22. There's a platform here for Great Britain if they can move the ball wide. Kelly misses out. Morton gives it to number 12, which is Simon Knox. Simon Knox tries to release the ball, and then we get the knock on, and the Australians are driven back to the line. That was the first real chance of the game, and number 4, Kerry Tyler, has been done for a misdemeanor offence and has put all the good work to bad. It didn't need that there. The pressure was on the Australians on the line, even if the pass had gone to ground from Simon Knox. And now the Australians have a chance to just take the ball back up to the Great Britain side. Roger Best driving the ball forward. Something you'll see him doing all this morning and into the afternoon in this game. Here comes Andrew McIlwain. Good tackling from England, and number 8, Craig Makin there coming over the top. Chapman gets the ball away to Sidney Dominic. Dominic spots half a gap, but Makin comes across to cover it. Chapman to Weston. Watch his passes. He's an excellent pass of the ball, and they get it away there. Butner with a great little ball to number 4, Jamie Olney. He just couldn't get away from the cover tackle. David Stevenson doing the job, and as he does there, and they're going to get a knock on against the Australians. Real early pressure here from Great Britain. They're really fired up for this match. They believe that they can pick up the first win here against the Australians, and certainly they have nothing to fear, but we have seen that the Australians have started to come really good as the tours progress. Stevenson, who had such a good game, as I was saying before, for Yorkshire at Post Office Road, Featherstone, against the Australians last Sunday. Makin, who'll drive the ball in all afternoon, but he knocked it on there. The 2 number 8s are real old-fashioned prop forwards. They'll drive the ball in no matter who's tackling them or how hard they're being hit. They'll put up with immense pressure. Sidney Dominic gets the ball away to Chapman. A chance there on the far side. Number 5, Tim Horan, but he's going to get pulled back for the forward ball. Now that was unfortunate. That would have been another excellent try there for the Australians, and they have scored some real top-class ones in the last few games. Kelly gets the ball to Stevenson. Stevenson releases it, but no real room forward for Great Britain. And Anthony Baines going on his own from West Hull. Brookfield to Kelly. Kelly gets the ball to number 11, Andrew Rasburn, who tries to make the halfway line, but he's well stopped by Collins in England. And now we'll get the kick from Kelly, but it's well read by Horan moving back, and he's got some room here, Tim Horan. And he goes past 3 tacklers, but he's not really getting much yardage, and Kelly and Hassan and Wilson all come in to make sure he doesn't get much farther. Oh, silly mistake from Great Britain. And it's not going to be taken quickly by Damien Chapman. Sensibly, he's going to leave it. As I was saying before, Peter Solis with a very difficult job of picking the players for this game. There's been some excellent players and excellent displays by the substitutes who are on show here today. As Great Britain get caught again for offside. That's another silly mistake, and a chance maybe here for Jamie and Chapman to kick it goal. Horan shouting that we'll go for 6, which obviously means they're trying the goal rather than the penalty. And he's put a good kick in there to put the pressure on Great Britain. Eight minutes gone. Great Britain leading by 2 points. That penalty after 2 minutes by Philisan. Here comes Roger Best trying to put Australia back in the game. Seldrick gets the ball to Collins. Collins just held up short of the line, and he might go over. No. Few centimetres short there, Sheldrick. gets the ball away. McIlwin, no room at all to run with it, and Brookfield comes in with a tackle to stop him in his tracks. The blind side is open for the moment for Great Britain. They need to close it down, and I think Best has sorted it. No. The Australians moving the ball wide. Weston, that's a good pass to Butner, but he just can't get the ball away. Because if he'd have looked up, there was an overlap on the blind side, and that's where it goes. Chapman, that's a good ball to Horan. Horan inside to Tim Patterson, who's just held up short again, and we'll get the 5th tackle. Real pressure here on Great Britain. Surely a chance for Australia to get something on the ball. Chapman throws the ball anywhere. Collins picks it up and gets it to Weston. Weston to Butner. Surely a try here for Sidney Dominic. Yes, he goes over just to the left of me. Sidney Dominic with the first try of the game. And it was on the cards at the moment the Australians went in the 22. Great Britain's tackling held them up short, but as soon as the ball was moved wide, it was obvious that Australia were going to go in. And Sidney Dominic, the youngest player on the tour at 16 years of age, we've talked to him before, and he really is an excellent youngster for a lad of his age, and he's not that small, but he packs such a body that he's really hard to stop, and he made sure he was in the right position then to go over the line. And really it was a case of who was there would go over, because the poor Philisan on that far side was left with 3 or 4 men on him. As we've said before, Sidney Dominic from North Rockhampton State High School on the central coast of Queensland, the youngest player in the team at 16 years of age, but he weighs in at an amazing 13 stone 2 pounds. And it's given Damien Chapman the opportunity after 10 minutes to get his first goal of the game, and he really has been in excellent kicking form. And that really must be the reason why he's picked up his test place here in place of Glenn Hurt, who hadn't really put a foot wrong in any of the games that he's played in. But I think Chapman's kicking has just edged him out of this team. Chapman swings that one in. It's an excellent kick from Damien Chapman, straight between the posts, and the Australians make an instant reply to that early penalty from Philisan. So 10 minutes gone, and Australia take the lead for the first time in the match, 6 points to 2. But I'm sure that won't be the end of the scoring in this game. There's a long way to go yet, as Holmes puts the kick deep. Here comes Craig Makepeace. Gets it out of his own 22 before he's met by Makin and Brookfield. Oh, that's surely a knock on there by Patterson, yes. Mistaken. Spotted it. And the sun's just come out here at Headingley for the moment. And the dismal grey morning that we've had just seems to be starting to brighten up. Maybe a try for Great Britain and help it even further. Tyra held up well there. Here comes Knox. Doesn't gain many yards before Makepeace makes the tackle. Now comes Kelly. Oh, Dominic missed the tackle on number 10, Graham Morton, but Morton couldn't get past Scott England. This time David Stevenson will drive the ball in. Still not much yardage game. Kelly will put the kick up. That's a nice kick from Kelly. It's put pressure on Makepeace, and he's lost the ball. Oh, well covered by Tim Horan. But still the pressure on Australia here. They need to put in a good set of 6, Great Britain, and pin them right down on the line. But they are so good at the dummy running around the play of the ball. And you see Patterson's gained 5 yards, but he's lost the ball. Chance here, surely Stevenson, or rather Phyllis Darren Wilson, picks the ball up. Brookfield gets it away to Kelly. Now moved to number 12, Simon Knox. Knox to the winger, number 6, and he's over for Great Britain. A superb try by Anthony Baines. Baines have moved out of the line and moved out wide, and Great Britain make an immediate reply to the try by Sidney Dominic. Number 5, Danny Ellison, wasn't needed on that far side. And he went over in the corner. He scored in the first game for North West Counties, and he scored again here today. I thought for a minute it might have been Anthony Baines there on the wing, because he moved out of the line. But in fact it was, as we rightly said, Danny Ellison from Parkside, Goulburn, who scored the only try for North West Counties on the first tour game. But he could have had 3 or 4 really, if he'd just have had a bit more luck from the referee and a few extra inches of a lunge. As we said before, Danny Ellison from Winstanley College, as the kick from Hassan drops feebly short. Age 18, height 5'10", and weighs in at 12 stone 3 pounds. Danny Ellison has represented Lancashire under 19s, and he's got the first try of the game here for Barla, and it's starting to open up into a very open game, this match. 6 points each, as Hassan will try and gain some yardage now to make up for the failed kick. Good run from Hassan, but he'll not get past Sheldrick or Best. Stevenson gets up to the 22. England with an ankle tackle. Now Brookfield driving the ball forward, gains the 5 or so yards before he's brought down. And Makin does the same. Good run from Craig Makin. That's took the ball out of the danger area for Great Britain. And Philip Holmes will put the kick up. It's in a high one again. It was from the kick before that we got the try. Here comes Tim Horan, or rather Tim Patterson. Horan this time drives the ball forward. Collins slips the ball, but it's a bad pass, and number 13 David Stevenson will pick it up, and he's going to win a penalty here. David Stevenson. Craig Makepeace doing a little too much holding on at the play of the ball, as was Chris Sheldrick. It's another good opportunity here for Great Britain to put some pressure on to the Australian schoolboys. They've certainly not been overawed in this match. That's one complaint that you've got to have about the Great Britain teams that have played Australia so far. They seem to have been overawed by the fact that they're playing Australia, and when they do get in the 22, they've either tried to be too clever, putting too many passes instead of playing the simple rugby, which is that position. But Great Britain have certainly not done that today. Baines gets the ball away to Knox. Knox makes the 22, but he's also met by an excellent tackle from the captain, Michael Butner. Kelly has got support outside of him in number 10, Morton. If Great Britain could get another try here, it really would mean that the Australians would have a big mountain to climb. Brookfield trying to do just that, but he's out of the 5. Kelly drop goal. It's not a good attempt, but maybe Great Britain will pick it up. If he can pick the ball and go over a chance. Knock on was Macon, who's got through work in this opening 15. So as they drive the Australian forward back there, that's excellent tackling from the young Lions. That's what they've got to do. Roger Best didn't know what he hit him there. He's getting high from Anthony Baines. And again, the good work that has been done on the Australians in the tackle has been let down. Now will relieve the pressure on the Australians and put them back on the attack. Best driving the ball in. Andrew Rasburn and Morton from Kells in there with the tackling. Here comes Collins for the Australia. Again, good effect. Number 4, Olyanek, with a pass before it, and then Tim Horan finishing it off in the corner. Jamie Olyanek went through a gap then that just didn't exist. And after 20 minutes of this game, the Australians again reply to that Great Britain try with their second try. And that it's going to be a 6-point try. We're certainly being treated to quite a few points here, and in the open areas of Headingley, it is a wide pitch. Have meant that both sides have been able to move the ball and give it to the wingers and centres, and it's certainly something that the Australians like to do. And like I said before, I'm sure that won't be the last points of the game. Chapman with a conversion, and it looks good again. Yes, Damien Chapman with his second kick of the match, and again it was straight through the post. It doesn't matter where they score the try, Chapman seems to be putting over the conversion. Great Britain now have got to reply like they did the first try, get some points back on the board, and they've got a great opportunity now because there's no knock on there. And if Kelly can get the ball from the scrum, maybe Great Britain could make an instant reply again. Oh, he's lost it, but he'll just recover in time. As Roger Best comes up, trying to reach the 20. Brookfield to Kelly. Kelly will miss Stevenson, a ball wide, but there wasn't any depth in the line. Kelly again. He really is a tricky scrum half, and he gets a neat ball away to Makin. Now the blind side. Rasburn moving forward, standing up in the tackle, but he not be able to get the ball away. Not really much support around him. Kelly. Baines this time. Baines to Stevenson. Again, there's no real depth in the line. Stevenson tries to go it alone, but there's too many green and gold shirts around him. As the Australians are penalised for pulling at the ball in the tackle. And Lozano go for goal again, yes. Stevenson handing him the ball. Sanu put that penalty goal over after 2 minutes to put Great Britain into the lead. He has already missed one attempt though. The try conversion attempt for Danny Ellison's try in the corner after 12 or so minutes. For the Sanu, who said before, 17, height 5'11", weighs in at 12 stone 4 pounds, and has represented Lancashire under 17. A strong running centre who takes some stopping. Well, he's got a penalty goal attempt here to again cut the points difference, and he seems to more favour it from the right hand side. His kicking. So 24 minutes gone, and Australia pinned back to just a 4-point lead now, 12 points to 8. But it really is starting to open up into a great match. Hassan driving the ball in, Best with the tackle on him. There's very little these two sides. Thing that we thought would happen if all those opposite sides to some off. Kelly. Around. Puts the kick in. Good kick from Philip Holmes. Leads. And now here comes. Not get past Hassan though. Chapman gets the ball away to Dominic. And Craig in there with a smothering tackle. And another excellent tackle for making sure that he runs to make the tackle in a row. Sheldrick to Chapman, Butler gets it away to Horan, rather Olniak going down the touchline. Has he got power to go past the fullback? He has, but a desperate tackle down the line, saving time. Make peace again. Greg Britby open up. Chapman goes in long. Great tackle from Baines, but Western now with a chance. Surely another try here for Australia. Number 12 and Wind goes over there on the far side, and the try the game. And again, as soon as it went in the 22, as soon as the break was made, it was obvious that the Australians were going to score. Chapman, though, has stayed down. He from, I think it was Anthony Baines. He's giving some treatment and will take the kick because of the all-neck mini break here on this touchline. He released his winger Tim Horan, or rather Tim Patterson, and only a great tackle from Hassan stopped them gaining. Brian Chambers will have to say about this in the half-time interval. We're 9 minutes from the break, and it's going to need Great Britain to get some points back on the board before the end of this first 35 minutes, really to give them some hope for the second half, because the Australians, when they do get into the Great Britain half, look very menacing indeed. But you've got to say that the Australian tries have come on the counter-attack, and it's been Great Britain who put most of their pressure on without really gaining the points that they must feel they deserve. Chapman, it's been Hints kicking, and there again he's put over an excellent conversion. What can you say about that lad? He's unbelievable. It doesn't matter whether it's from the left or the right, he hits the ball so sweetly. He did a kick at Huddersfield a week or so ago, and it's no joke when you say that he swung it from right to left and brought the ball back in with a wind, and that was off the touchline as well. That has been the difference between him and Glenn Eyre. The passing and running are exactly the same. They're both excellent players at that, but Chapman's kicking must give him the edge on anybody, as Makin does a little too much tackling there on Makepeace. And in fact, it's going to be number 12, Simon Knox, who's getting the warning from Dave Atkin. So the Australians now with a 10-point gap. 3 tries to just the 1 from Great Britain. And really the main factor again, the 3 goals. Collins driving the ball in. Oh, that's another good tackle from Makin, but he again needed the support around him. Brookfield was there to help him as Collins tried to turn in the tackle. Sheldrick, oh, he knocked Andrew Rasburn out of the way then. Chapman to Dominic. Dominic coming into the line and into the 22. Every time the Australians have been in this position so far, they've scored. Great Britain have got to start holding them up. Chapman moving the ball to Weston. Weston now, what can he do? Oh, he's gone straight through the gap, and surely another try. Craig Weston, oh, he's just held up short, double movement. If he'd have released the ball, then the standoff Craig Weston, he would have surely got another try. Number 4, Jamie Olniak, was screaming for the ball, and he really does deserve a try, Olniak, because he's been the player that has made the half breaks for the tries before him, for Dominic, and for Tim Horan, and then for Andrew McIlwain. But Weston then just seemed to be a little greedy. moving forward. No, he's got to release the ball and does just that. Oh, that's better play from Great Britain. Tyra, he also needed to release the ball, but he's still going forward. Good run from Kerry Tyler. They play the ball, Brookfield to Stevenson. Stevenson's got to release the ball, then he didn't seem able to do just that. Baines to Kelly. No, will get the kick in, and that's over Makepeace's head. He'll have to scamper back for that ball. As Stevenson makes a real big hit on him. Chapman gets the ball away. Weston, that's an excellent pass to Dominic. Dominic's got a speed here to go through the gap. He needs the support though. He's got it in Butner, but he throws the ball behind them. And now Brookfield will pick it up. This game's starting to turn into a very open match. Baines. And now Tyra going forward from Acton half.